Hi guys, Mrs. Albert's here and welcome back to my channel. Let's begin. Right, let's start with wetenskapsmannetjies practice questions. Okay, nommer 1. Na wie word daar in die titel van die gedig verwys? Now, who are they referring to in the title of the poem? They are referring to wetenskapsmannetjies. You can be a little bit more explanatory in this one. You can say that it is wetenskaplikes, or you can say die manne wat wetenskap doen. Anything like that, but it's also fine if you just say they are referring to wetenskapsmannetjies. Nommer 2, wie is die julle, waarna die spreker in strofe 1 verwys. Now, stanza 1 starts with the word julle. Who is the speaker referring to when you see the word julle? And that is the scientists who are studying the sun. Number 3, verduidelik die gebruik van die verkleiningsvorm van die woord wetenskapsmannetjie. So you have to explain why they used a diminutive for the word wetenskapmannetjies. It emphasizes the speaker's contempt for scientists. She does not like them and she has no respect for them. To diminute, I don't even know how to say that in a verb, but to make something smaller than it is shows that you think less of it. Number 4, verduidelik waarom die wetenskaplikes onder swart teleskope sit. So you have to explain why the scientists sit under black telescopes. Now, this question to me was a little bit vague because I didn't understand were they referring to telescopes in general or were they referring to the color. So when you have this question in the exam, answer it as fully as you can. So first of all, the wetenskaplikes, the scientists, are sitting under black telescopes because they are studying the sun, hoping to one day get there. And secondly, the word swart has a negative connotation to the studying of the sun due to the speaker's view. Remember the black telescopes, the negative word here, it's not because it's negative to study the sun. It doesn't mean that telescopes are bad. It just shows us what the speaker thinks of telescopes and studying the sun. So that negative connotation is her opinion about it. So they are sitting there studying, using the black telescope, and there's a negative connotation to it. Number 5, lees weer versieel 3. Wat sal die wetenskaplikes volgens versieel 3 nooit kan doen nie? So my little bubble I see has cut off the question, so I hope I've got the question right there. But they're asking, what according to line 3 can the scientists never achieve? What can they never do? And that is they can never get to the sun. First of all, it's very far, as they ask in 5.2 to explain, verduidelik waarom jy so sê, so you have to explain your answer in 5.1. Why will they never get there? It is too far. I was being nice there. Hell, it's too hot. If you land on the sun, you'll be dead. I don't even think you can get close to the sun. But yeah, let's not get all scientifically on this one. Just say that it's too far to get there. Nommer 6, lees die aanhaling en beantwoord die vraag wat volg. Die son as te ware inkrimp en eendag verdwyn. Watter gevolge gaan dit vir die aarde inhou? So at 6.1, they are asking you what repercussions will it have if the sun suddenly shrinks and one day disappears, because that's what your quote is telling you. Well, the life on Earth will diminish, it will die, it will disappear, it will not be able to continue it, because everything that is on Earth depends on the sun. 6.2, gee een woord uit die aanhaling wat verwys na 'n onbepaalde tyd. So you have to give one word out of this quote that shows an indefinite time. So unspecific moment or unspecific time, it's eendag, it has to be one word. 6.3, wat is die verskil in betekenis tussen die woord definitief en as te ware wat in die versreël voorkom? I did not answer this one correctly. Whenever they ask you for the difference in meaning between the word definitely and as te ware, which means, I don't even know what the English version of that one is, then you have to look at both of them, where in my answer I only looked at one of them. I said definitief refers to the fact that one day the sun will definitely shrink or disappear according to their theory, but the as te ware shows us that there's doubt. It's not definite. It's a theory. It is assuming that everything goes according to what the scientists have worked out. We cannot be 100% sure. That is the contrast between the two words. Nommer 7, die spreker gebruik 'n negatiewe woord in strofe 1 om te wys dat sy nie veel van die wetenskaplikes dink nie. Haal die woord aan. So the speaker uses a negative word in stanza 1 to show that she doesn't really think a lot about the scientist. You need to quote the word. The word is patheties. When I was marking this with my students, however, swart also came up with telescopes. But remember, you can only write down swart. You cannot write down swart teleskope because they are asking you for one word. So patheties is your best one for number 7. Number 8, na wie verwys die ons in versdeel 7? Now we go over to your next stanza and you will see in line 1 we started with julle, in line 7 we start with ons. It's a big contrast in this poem and we'll talk about it later when we get to that question. But this ons refers to the speaker and her friends, children who appreciate nature or they want to spend time in nature or with nature. Number 9, hoekom dink jy sal 'n mens op 'n windpomp sit om na die sonsondergang te kyk? So you have to tell them why you think people sit on a windmill, a windpomp to look at the sunset. My answer, it's high up, you can see far and wide, so it's for a better view. Nommer 10 gee 2 voorbeelde van personifikasie in strofe 2 en gee verduideliking vir elkeen. So it's 2 personification examples from stanza 2 and you have to explain both. So I've got one which is die son stamp sy kop teen die rand en hy bloei. So that's stamp en bloei. The idea of sun being a head that gets bumped and then it bleeds, that is your personification. So it's the round sun that hits in a way the horizon, and then as it goes down, as it starts to disappear beyond the horizon, the color of the sun is changing and it becomes more red, which looks like it's bleeding. So just think about a normal sunset. If you have ever sat down and watched one, great, then you've got the picture in your head. Nommer 11, verduidelik waarom daar progressie in die spreker se beskrywing van die sonsondergang is. So you have to explain why there is progression in the speaker's description of the sunset. Now, first of all, let's look at the progression. Every line from line 9 to 12 seems to get longer. 3 words, 5 words, and then it extends to 6 words. So it becomes longer. That is your progression. It emphasizes the image of the sun that's going down and the shadows becoming longer and the air or the light or the atmosphere becoming redder as the sun is setting. Nommer 12, wat bedoel die spreker as hy sê dat die son sy kop stamp en waarteen stamp die son sy kop? So what is the speaker trying to say by the head, the sun's head being bumped, and what is it being bumped against? So it's the visual of a round sun hitting the horizon. It is hitting the earth. Verduidelik die voorplasing of anafora van die woord hoe in versdeel 10 tot 12. So you have to explain why the word who is in the first position from line 10 to 12. Now the emphasis is on who. Whenever you have alleenplasing of voorplasing of inversie, it places the emphasis on the word that is either in the front or at the back or alone in a line. So here the emphasis is on how. How the sun is going down. It emphasizes the process of the sunset. It also shows us that there is progression. And it emphasizes the word, how. Okay, number 14, this is a lekker long question. Strofe 1 begin met die woord julle en strofe 2 met die woord ons. Waarin lê die kontras tussen die julle en die ons in die gedig? So you have to explain the contrast and show evidence of the contrast between stanza 1 and stanza 2. So I just made you a little column there and I listed all of them. Now they won't ask you such a big question. They will ask you to name 2 things that are contrasting or name any contrast, and then you'll have to name the one from julle and the one from ons to get your 2 marks, because in a contrast or in similarities you always have to refer to both. So the julle, they are pathetic. The ons, they appreciate nature. The julle, trying to work out the light years. The ons, they are just enjoying the sun and its effect on nature. The julle, they use telescopes. The ons, they use their naked eye to look at everything that is beautiful. Julle is ingestel op die ongewone, so they are basically trying to see anything that isn't usual or normal, where the ons is enjoying the everyday normal occurrences. Julle, they make new findings. The ons, they are experiencing nature with their emotions. Julle, they are sitting on the ground in their offices, and ons is sitting high up on a windmill enjoying the view. The julle, it is their job, and ons, they are enjoying it for relaxation and just to appreciate it. 15, lees die aanhaling en beantwoord die vrae wat daarop volg. Daarom, liewe menere, teken ek klawertjies tussen my huiswerk, kry ek 26%. So it's a quote that you have to look at. It's the quote where she says she would rather draw shamrocks between her homework, and she gets 26%. Then they ask you 15.1, wat is klawertjies? What is a klawertjie? That is a small plant. Normally it has 3 petals, 3 green petals, but when they are talking about these klawertjies here, they're actually talking about a shamrock, which is that lucky one with the 4. So it's the 4-leaf clover. 15.2, waarvan is klawertjies 'n symbool? It's a symbol of good luck. 15.3, wat vertel die klawertjies vir ons van die spreker se gevoel teenoor wetenskap? So what is this, the fact that she is drawing these shamrocks between her homework, what does it tell you about her feelings about science? She finds science boring, she's drawing little doodles everywhere, she doesn't enjoy the subject. 15.4, watter negatiewe effek het die spreker se gebrek aan belangstelling op haar resultate? So what negative effect does the speaker's lack of interest have on her results? She is failing science at the moment. She is getting 26%. 15.5, haal een woord aan wat vir ons sê dat die spreker nog op skool is. So you have to quote one word to show that she is still at school, and that's the word huiswerk, homework. 15.6, wie is die liewe menere van wie die spreker praat? Liewe menere is who she is addressing, and remember the whole poem is addressed to the scientists, so wetenskaplikes is scientists. Kies die korrekte beskrywing vir die woord liewe. So that's now referring to the word liewe menere, that liewe. Die spreker bewys respek of is minagtend teenoor die wetenskaplikes. So it's asking you to fill or choose the correct word. The speaker shows respect towards the scientist or shows contempt towards the scientist, and it's contempt. She doesn't like them, she does not respect them. Nommer 16, waarom gebruik die spreker die woord want aan die begin van versdeel 15? Why does she use the word want, which is because? Sy gee redes. She's giving reasons why she does not do well in science, why she does not like the way the scientists are looking at the world. She does not do it the same way. So she's giving us reasons. Remember, because is a reason-giving conjunction. 17, waarom gebruik die spreker die wetenskaplike en wiskundige formules? Why is the speaker using the mathematical and sciencey formulas? She is using it to express her emotions in a way that the scientist could understand. 18, met watter emosie assosieer die spreker die volgende wiskunde terme? So they want you to link an emotion to the mathematical terminology given in the poem. Quadreer, she uses or she feels happiness. She wants to multiply her happiness. Logs, she wants to decrease her sadness. And then all numbers, syfers, she refers or she feels loneliness connected to that word. Okay, nummer 19. Die spreker hou nie van syfers nie. Wat is haar rede? The speaker doesn't like numbers. What is her reason? She believes that numbers bring loneliness. This could be because she is maybe isolating herself in the math class because she's not following what's going on, or she looks at science as a job and she sees them all isolated and working in closed spaces where she just wants to be in nature. So she associates math and science with loneliness. Watter vorm van beeldspraak, at number 20, is en vind dan die logaritme van my hartseere voorbeeld. So you have to name the figure of speech in that line. And it is metaphor. She is comparing her emotions with scientific terminology, but it's also jargon because we don't use these words like quadreer and logaritme in everyday speech. It only has to do with math as a subject or science as a subject. Nommer 21, die woorde bloei, groei en verskroei ry met mekaar. Wat is die funksie daarvan? So when you look at where bloei, groei and verskroei comes in your poem, you'll see that it has to do with the sun setting. So why do they rhyme with each other? What is the function? It binds them all together to form one idea, one unit. So that idea is the sun setting. It creates the idea that your whole line 19 to line 9 to 12 becomes one solid idea. 22, die verkleinwoorde, mannetjies en klawertjies dra elkeen 'n boodskap oor. Dui aan watter woord 'n positiewe en negatiewe boodskap oordra, verduidelik waarom jy so sê. So you have to now look at the word mannetjies and klawertjies, because both of them, they carry a message. One is positive, one is negative, and why do you say so? So mannetjies is negative, and klawertjies is positief. Mannetjies is negative because it shows her contempt. She is looking down at them. It is emphasizing that she does not respect them. And klawertjies is a symbol of good luck and probably a symbol for her of hope that the klawertjies will help her to pass wetenskap. Please do not draw little shamrocks between your Afrikaans in your exam. You will pass. You'll be fine. Don't stress. Nommer 23, watter woord in die gedig sê dat die spreker nie veel respek vir die wetenskaplikes het nie. So you have to give one word in the poem that tells us that the speaker feels that there's no respect for scientists. And that's the word patheties or mannetjies. That as te ware, not really. It shows more doubt in their ability than actually showing that she doesn't respect them. But I added that in case they maybe ask for 2 words to show that she doesn't have respect. So it's patheties and mannetjies. Then 24, watter aanduiding kry ons in die laaste strofe dat sy eintlik jammer vir hulle voel. So you have to look at the last stanza. How do you know that she actually feels sorry for these scientists? And when we look at that last stanza, you see that she is saying that they don't experience the beauty of nature. She feels that they are doomed to loneliness because that is what she feels numbers are bringing, and they deem numbers more important than nature. Goed, nommer 25, in die gedig word klem gelê op die sintuie sig en hoor. Haal voorbeelde van sintuiglike waarneming uit die gedig aan. Okay, so there's an emphasis on the sight and the hearing. You have to quote these examples of sintuiglike waarneming. Sintuiglike waarneming, experiencing things through your senses. You'll see that I've got sig, 3 quotes there, all about the sun setting, and then gehoor, that's your hearing, listening to the Quran, which is a type of bird. You'd rather listen to that. So those are your 2 sintuiglike waarnemings options that you can choose from. 26, die slotstrofe is 'n antithese, verduidelik die stelling. The last stanza is an antithesis. Antithesis means that there is a contrast, a juxtaposition. 2 things are completely opposite of each other. So we've got the happiness compared to the sadness and loneliness. The speaker is emphasizing how she feels about nature and how nature brings her happiness, versus how sadness and loneliness is the feelings she gets whenever she thinks of science and scientists. Then last one, 27, stem jy saam met die spreker dat die mens liewer die mooi van die bekende wêreld moet waardeer in plaas daarvan om dit te probeer ontleed? So do you agree with the speaker that you have to spend more time enjoying and appreciating the beauty of the known world rather than trying to dissect and scientifically look at the world that is unknown? This is your own answer. Just remember, whenever it's your own answer, you can go yes or no, but you have to have a good motivation that makes sense, first of all, good Afrikaans, and it actually answers the question. There you go. I hope I helped. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you've got any questions, you can follow me on Instagram at Afrikaans Classroom. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos, like and share.